In this video, I build the 3 saddest Star Wars sacrifices in 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour. I really appreciate all the support on the last video where I built the 3 saddest Clone Wars deaths, so I have decided to expand the Clone vs Droid Battle Pack giveaway into this video. If this video gets 5,000 likes, then I will be giving away another one of these sets. All you have to do is like the video, comment, and subscribe to be entered. For the 5-minute build, I decided to build the death of Tech. Tech sacrificed himself while on a mission with the Bad Batch, which resulted in the rest of his squad surviving while he unfortunately died. His death was the saddest scene in the Bad Batch, and in my opinion, one of the saddest clone deaths in Star Wars. So I decided to use these 2 tan plates for the base of this mock. I then surrounded it in black plates to build a bit of a border, and then did tiles all around to finish the border off. After that, I just started tiling off the rest of the mock with these white plates. I used some different angle parts and different slopes and stuff like that. The idea was to try to create clouds and like a bit of a cloudy texture. I don't think I did that well. It kind of ended up looking more like snow, but that also works because this is a snow planet, so we could just say that this is Tech about to hit the ground instead of him falling through the clouds. Whichever way you like to look at it, I guess you can interpret it that way. Then after all the clouds were done, I grabbed this translucent pole and then I grabbed Tech. I just decided to use the normal Tech that we get in Lego Star Wars sets, and I attached him to the pole in a falling motion, and here is the final result. I actually really like how this mock turned out. It's really basic and simple, but that's all it had to be because I think it does a great job at capturing Tech's sacrifice. Let me know what you think about this mock in the comments because I really enjoy it for such a small and easy build to do. For the 30-minute build, I built the death of Kanan. Kanan sacrificed himself after Imperial walkers shot at the fuel pods he and Hera were standing on. He managed to hold back the explosion with the Force and push Hera, Sabine, and Ezra to safety simultaneously, which unfortunately resulted in his death. I started by getting a bunch of plates and I tiled them off with light bluish grey tiles. I left a few sections free for minifigures to stand on later, and I also didn't tile off the entire left part of the mock because I wanted to add the fire there. After that, I grabbed this little orange thing here and I added a blue translucent piece. The reason I did this is because in the scene we can see Kanan's Force abilities created a bit of a force field around him and it looked to be a bit of a blue color, so I thought this did a pretty good job at capturing that. After that, I grabbed all of the translucent orange and red pieces that I had, all the different fire parts and everything, and I just started attaching all of them to the left side of the mock. I tried to pretty much make them wrap around the force field like we see in the show. I think I did a pretty good job and I'm really happy with how it actually ended up turning out. After that, I then started to grab the minifigures. So first up, I grabbed Kanan. I used the blind version of Kanan, but I removed the hair piece and added a shorter hair because in this scene, Kanan had actually just previously cut his hair. So I added him into the mock. I tried to have one arm forcing the fire away and the other arm forcing Hera away. So then after that I had to add Hera. I just used the normal Hera minifigure. I know it wasn't really accurate to the scene, but I don't really care. And I just added her on a translucent clear brick to signify her floating in the air with Kanan's Force ability. The mock was pretty much done now, but I had a little bit of extra time and I didn't really like how you could see the 2 different colored plates, so I decided to add a border. I just did a black border the whole way around and tiled it off, and I think it looks much better with the border on there. But here is the final mock. I've been wanting to build this scene for ages. I just didn't really know how to do it, but I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I think all the fire parts look really cool around that blue force field, and this is one of my favorite deaths in all of Star Wars. Definitely my favorite in Rebels, so I really wanted to recreate this scene for a long time, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Finally, for the 1 hour build, I chose the death of K2SO. K2SO sacrificed himself during the Battle of Scarif to prevent stormtroopers reaching Andor and Jyn Erso. His death was very sad and I wanted to build it due to his upcoming return in season 2 of the Andor show. I decided to build this mock on a 32x32 base plate, and I started off by building the doorway. So I built this thing here with hinge parts and bricks, and I made the bottom of it black so it could blend in with the floor, and I just placed that at the back there. Then after I did that, I wanted to build some of the very iconic Imperial hallways that we see like on the Death Star and in Imperial bases and stuff like that. So I built this little wall here that goes over the top of that doorway. I just use a snot technique on these sides with some dark grey and white plates to create that texture. Don't look at the back because the back is very ugly, but no one's going to be looking at the back of this mock, so it doesn't really matter. Then I placed that over the top of the doorway there, and then after that, I wanted to fill in some of those diagonal gaps that we see around the doorway. So I used some slope plates as well as tiles and other plates to just sort of fill in those gaps and make a border around the doorway. And I think it ended up looking alright. It's not the best, but then I filled in these studs here. I didn't have any dark grey of diagonal tiles, unfortunately, so I had to use some light bluish grey ones. I wish I had some dark grey ones. I think it would have looked better, but I think this does a better job than just having the studs showing anyway. Now that this back wall was pretty much done, I decided to build the little computer thing that K2SO is taking cover behind. I came up with this. I don't think it looks the best, but I'm not that great at designing little things like this, and I think it does a trick. Once K2SO is behind it anyway, I think it's going to be fine. So I placed that into the mock where it goes, and then after that, I started tiling off the entire base plate with black 2x2 tiles. I added some 2x2 jumper plates in as well to add some stormtroopers later on, and I just tiled off the entire mock and built a little step up into the doorway as well. Then I decided to just tile off the top of the wall here, so I did that, and now it's time to add minifigures. So first up, I added K2SO. I just used the standard K2SO minifigure that came in the U-wing, and I added him with his hands up like he's in the action of about to just destroy the computers like we see him do in the movies. After that, I added some stormtroopers. I just used like the most modern stormtrooper design, and I added 3 stormtroopers running at K2SO shooting at him, and then I also added 2 dead stormtroopers on the floor. And here is the final mock. I think out of all 3 of the mocks, this one was the hardest to do within the time constraint. If I did have more time, I would have gone back and tried to come up with a better design for the computer that K2SO is behind. I also would have then did more bricks around the back, make the back just look more clean because the back is very ugly. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with this mock. I've always wanted to build these Death Star panels. I've never done that before actually, so I think this is a pretty good first attempt at it. Means I can do more stuff like this in the future, more Imperial bases and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this mock. And here is the final 3 mocks, including the 1 hour K2SO death, the half-an-hour Kanan death, and the 5-minute tech death. I'm really happy with all 3 of these mocks. I definitely think these 3 mocks are better than the 3 mocks in my last video, but if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you check out my last video where I build the 3 saddest Clone Wars deaths. There's actually 2 parts to that video, so I'll link both of those so you can check them both out. But let me know what you think about these mocks in the comments, and if you guys want to be entered for your chance to win the Clone vs Droid Battle Pack, then make sure you get this video to 5,000 likes, and yeah, just like it, comment, and subscribe to be entered. Alright, thanks for watching guys, we'll see you next time.